switch gears now and talk about the internal crisis rocking the APC, the ruling party in Nigeria. There's a lot happening in that party. Well, there have been some protests recently by aggrieved members of the APC. They call themselves Concerned APCU. They stormed the party secretariat about 2 days ago in Abuja, demanding the removal of Mr. Adams Oshiomhole as the party's national chairman. The protesters called on President Buhari to intervene in order to arrest what they describe as the dwindling fortunes of the party under Mr. Oshiomhole. They claim that the APC has lost more states under Oshiomhole chairmanship, the most recent being Bayelsa. Take a listen.
Before election, Oshiomhole have come to almost all the states, have gone around all the states and interfere with the state party affairs. Yes. Including the FCT. Oshiomhole, because of his activities, that he interferes with the affairs of FCT party. That was the reason why President Muhammadu Buhari lost election in FCT. Under the leadership of Oshiomhole, Oshiomhole have disunited the APC, have disorganized it. Oshiomhole is responsible for so many irregularities that have been going on in the APC that so many of us were aggrieved. And to an extent, before election, we even left the party. And it lost its structures. I am a good example of somebody who was a good faithful of the APC, but before election, we were forced, due to his impunity, to change our parties and work for another party because we were politically rendered irrelevant.
Today, another group called the Forum of All Progressives Congress Aspirants is calling for a reform in the APC in order to allow it to survive beyond 2023. The call is part of the resolutions reached by the aspirants at the end of the National Executive Council meeting in Abuja. The group, however, clarifies that the call for reforms means saying it has nothing to do with the removal of anyone from office, as they have confidence in the party's reconciliation committee led by Chief Bisi Akande. There have been some agitations calling for the removal of the party's national chairman, Adams Oshiomhole. Take a listen to their leader.
What we are now trying to do, like I said, is to complement the effort of our party, to make sure that this party exists and survives beyond 2023. Of course, there's no party that has no challenges. But I believe, with the kind of effort we are making now, we will help in finding solutions in most of the challenges that our party is facing. And most importantly, we all know our party has no option but to carry out certain reforms. In fact, you could see what the president had done recently, or a few months ago. He directed the party to form a National Reconciliation Committee, now headed by Chief Akande, and I believe very soon they will start going around the states, to engage the party members.
Let's talk more about the internal workings of the APC and some of the rumblings that is happening. I have me in Abuja, in our Abuja studio. On the program tonight, Sir Hamadu Yusuf is one of the aggrieved youth of the APC and a chieftain of the APC, Amina Gamawa. Mrs. Gamawa, thank you so much for coming on tonight on the program. The reforms, the issues of the grievances of some of the members of your party, especially the young man beside you, who is one of the aggrieved members. Let me begin with you, Mr. Yusuf. You are saying that Mr. Oshiomhole should be removed as the chairman of the party. Is that fair enough?
Yes, without missing words, that is exactly what we're saying, that he has proven to be immature in terms of handling, immature, and he has no ability to manage the internal party crisis. And he has proven that to some extent, the party chairman have proven that he does not have what it takes to be able to control a party such as the leading and the progressive party at this moment. Now, let me go back to myself and my people who are victims of this kind of failure in leadership. On the 3rd of October 2018, record will have it that we led a protest from the FCT asking that for his resignation because he was interfering with the activities of FCT internal party, the internal party affairs of the FCT. That was what the chairman. Now it got to an extent where the national chairman will be blamed for Mr. President describing FCT as a necessary evil, and then for making Mr. President to feel that the people of FCT do not vote for him or we didn't love Mr. President. Let me correct an impression. We loved the president and the people came and were ready to support the president. But as soon as Adams Oshiomhole begins to interfere in the internal party affairs of FCT, begin to impose candidacy from the House of Reps, from the Senate, and all that, now, when he begins to interfere, a lot of people were aggrieved.
Mr. Yusuf, sorry to
I'm one
butt
of
in.
the victims.
Yeah, you say you're one of, sorry, apologies. Who is sponsoring your group?
Well, when we came in 2018, everybody who is very conversant with happenings in Nigeria knows that my generation of youth does not need anybody to sponsor you before I pull out crowd. By the grace of God, I'm a young, active youth who feel I hate injustice, I hate when things are done wrongly. Anybody who feels that I'm being sponsored or anything like that, that means he doesn't have confidence in the new youth we have today. Right. What we are saying is that we must look at the people in power. We must look at the people in power and tell them the truth. Oshiomhole have proven to be incompetent.
Are you saying, Mr. Yusuf, are you saying there's no governor of the APC backing your activism about the internal workings of the APC? Is that what you're saying?
Not at all. Not at all. As far as I'm concerned, I have not been a public face before any governor, or have I been seen aligning myself with any governor. But one thing I have made reference to is that on the 3rd of October 2018, you could go around and check. There was a time that even we protested and shut down the headquarters of the APC, and we had to even render apologies for cheering alongside because the protestants were so aggressive, they cheered alongside the posters of Mr. President, which up till date were still apologizing.
Mr. Yusuf, just hold on a moment. Hold on a moment. We need to go on break. But when we come back, I'll allow Mrs. Gamawa to respond to some of these issues and how the party hopes to get out of these issues when youth in your party are angry in this manner. We'll take a moment, and when we come back, we'll talk more. Let's get back to the conversation, everyone. Thank you so much for staying with us. Yunus Hamadu Yusuf is one of the aggrieved youth of the APC, and Mrs. Amina Gamawa is a chieftain of the APC. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Let's hear from you, Mrs. Gamawa, on what is happening in the party. I mean, this is not a forced protest we are seeing in less than a week to the APC National Secretariat asking for the resignation of the national chairman. Things are getting bad for your party, is it?
No, I don't believe that things are getting bad. Things were worse for PDP as far as I'm concerned. And I think I'm excited because the president has made it possible to have stronger institutions. And we are becoming more and more civilized. Because without this civility, I don't think we'll be where we are. We're used to impunity in the past, where now APC is facing challenges as a ruling party because we have decided to do things the right way. And like this young man is saying, I think he has his concerns, and that's why the president feels we need a reconciliatory committee to be able to address these issues. And I believe the issues will be resolved. It's a cause for concern when you lose states. It's a cause for concern when you have primaries and screening processes that we're not able to address things and we have issues at the courts. So these kind of issues need to be addressed. Whoever is heading the APC, it doesn't matter whether it is Mr. Adams or Oshiomhole or anybody, because I believe the party is greater than us. And we want it to stand the test of time. So we don't want to be sentimental here. We just want to address our problems. And that's why no matter the kind of predictions they have about APC, we're able to survive because we are very practical and we are realists. We're not like PDP when we sit down and assume because we're the ruling party, we should be able to do what we want. I don't think that is how we think. That's why when we lose at courts, we take responsibility. We come back to the drawing board to see where we went wrong. I was in a committee where we were screening for the governorship election of Ekiti. And I found that one of our candidates had a court case. And I held on to his screening, to his clearance, and said, please, by tomorrow we need to have your documents to make sure that we don't have issues in courts. And in the morning, as early as 6, he called me, and they were able to give it to me. We went through it and realized that even if we screen and we clear him, he's not going to have a problem in courts. That is what we should be doing.
Mrs.
We should
Gamawa,
not be losing cases.
Yeah, Mrs.
We
Gamawa,
should not be losing...
and these are some of the fears of some of the people that in Rivers State, there is a problem in APC. In Zamfara, you had an issue in APC. In Bayelsa, you lost out there. And in several states, you can mention across the country, there's a major issue. A quick one is it fair to ask for the resignation of Mr. Oshiomhole?
I don't think that is the issue you should be asking me. I think the fairness you should see in our actions is that the president has called for a reconciliation and to find out the problem. Because we cannot just say removal of this person or this will solve the problem. We are trying to now to get to the bottom of the problem. And I think that is the fair question you should ask me is that, are you doing the right thing to get your party out of the crisis?
Yeah,
and I think we're in the right direction. And I think we will be ready by...
Yeah, because this is not the first time you are setting up the reconciliatory committee anyways. The first one that was set up, some members of the party rejected it and it's been reset up again. We hope that one works. But the big question now again is, some of the chieftains of the party are saying 2023, post-2023, APC would disintegrate because without Buhari, APC might just go into shambles.
That is the blatant lie, because all the predictions they did on APC, I think none has come true. And I assure Nigerians that APC is going to stand the test of time, and we're doing the right thing. I don't believe APC is going to disintegrate, never. It's not even something I'm thinking about. It's not going to happen. And all the predictions they made on APC, it has not worked. What did they say before the 2019 elections? What happened today? So I don't believe that APC can be beaten by any party. We have the discipline. Other people are not disciplined enough like us, because we have the discipline to go on despite the challenges, despite the fact that we are the ruling party. And we are doing the right things to make sure we win our elections. I don't see where the problem is. Like any other party, we have our problems. But they had huge and more problems than us. And they don't address their problems the way we address our problems. We are not taking it upon our head that we are the ruling party.
You're saying that for those who are of the opinion that President Buhari is the anchor point of the APC, the reason why APC is still together today, you don't believe those who say so?
I believe that President Buhari has set us on the right footing of discipline. We are very disciplined because of him. Because he refuses to act and do do impunity when we have elections. He refuses to put his mouth in our court cases. So he has given us the discipline to face anybody. Other parties are not even used to having elections. They are used to rigging. So they don't even know what to do. They are clueless when it comes to elections because they don't know what to do. We know what to do. The last election, we were the ones campaigning. PDP wasn't campaigning at all. It shocked me, and I could feel it. Why are they not campaigning? They said they are not used to it. I was like shocked because we were campaigning wards, villages, everywhere. He has given us the discipline. He has given us the foundation on which to work, so we can face any kind of opponent.
Yeah. So let me allow the gentleman beside you to give his final word on the program. Mr. Yusuf, with what is happening, there is a reconciliation committee of the party led by Chief Bisi Akonde. Do you believe that can resolve the problems in the party as against you asking for Mr. Oshiomhole to leave? Just in 40 seconds, please.
Now, Seun, the ruling party and the leadership of the party should not be a place for teaching practice. Neither should it be a place for NYCS. See, Now, what we are saying is that if over the time you are not competent, we cannot risk the party, the fate of the party in the hands of an incompetent person. We're saying your immaturity, your inability to handle issues that has to do with leadership, to bring the party together, your inability to bring stakeholders, your zero tolerance for accountability. There are more issues that
You're
if we are
talking
coming out
about a
now to
governor
speak as great
that has
people,
ruled a state, that has served the state for 8 years. You're describing someone who was being a governor for 8 years in a state. Is that fair to say?
Chief security officer, being a chief security officer of a state and a labor union comrade is different from managing a party. We're talking about a party here, not a comradeship, not a chief security officer that you look at everybody to his face and threaten the person or talk to people anyhow or have
All right.
zero understanding that there is
We need to go,
stakeholdership in
Mr.
everything
Yusuf.
or every
Let me
project
allow
that you do.
Mrs. Kamawa in 10 seconds, your final thought on the program. Mrs. Kamawa, your final thought.
Yeah, I believe that APC is going to get stronger after this problem because we are solving our problems, we are addressing issues, and I believe all grievances will be addressed.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Kamawa, Chieftain of the APC, and Mr.
Thank you.
Amadu Yusuf, one of the aggrieved youths of the APC. Thanks so much for coming on tonight. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching. That's our show for today. Many thanks. Bye for now.